Chief Secretary, Gujarat, Shri Raj Kumar. We welcome Secretary, Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, Shri Manoj Joshi. Su Sherpa G20, Shri Abhay Thakur. Shri Kunal Kumar, Joint Secretary and Mission Director, Smart Cities, Mission, Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. Shri Ashwini Kumar, Principal Secretary, Urban Development, Government of Gujarat. Shri M. Thanarsan, Municipal Commissioner, Ahmedabad. Shri Emilia Saiz Kararan Sido, Secretary General, UCLG, and Mr. Kevin Austin, Deputy Executive Director, C40. Namaskar and a very pleasant morning to all of you. Welcome to India's first World Heritage City, Ahmedabad. Under India's presidency of G20, resonating the theme of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, that is one earth, one family, one future, Ahmedabad is honored to chair the 6th U20 cycle, which has emphasized on the action at the city level that can drive lasting positive outcomes for the world. Ahmedabad is delighted to welcome mayors and delegates from G20 countries, U20 conveners, representatives of various working groups and engagement groups, senior officials from the government, national and international organizations, representatives from participating and observer cities, invited guests, and members of media. At the commencement of the occasion, I invite Honorable Mayor of Ahmedabad City, Shri Kirit Kumar Parmar, under whose mentorship the city has undertaken various important urban initiatives, for the welcome address and opening remarks. વિનંતી કરીએ છીએ માનનીય મેયર શ્રી અમદાવાદ શ્રી કિરીટ કુમાર પરમારને સ્વાગત સંબોધન માટે.
सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कच्चित् दुःख भागवेद. આનો અર્થ બધા સુખી રહે, નિરોગી રહે, સમૃદ્ધ રહે અને કોઈ ઉપર કોઈ પણ પ્રકારની વિપદા ન આવે. આ ભાવ સાથે હું આજે G20 અંતર્ગત U20ની મેરલ સમિટના ઉદ્ઘાટન સમારંભમાં અત્રે ઉપસ્થિત મુખ્ય અતિથિ ગુજરાતના લોકલાડીલા તેમજ સંવેદનશીલ મુખ્યમંત્રી આદરણીય શ્રી ભૂપેન્દ્રભાઈ પટેલજી, ભારત સરકારના શહેરી વિકાસ મંત્રાલયના મંત્રી શ્રી કૌશલ કિશોરજી, ભારત સરકારના શહેરી વિકાસ મંત્રાલયના સચિવ શ્રી મનોજ જોશીજી, ભારત સરકારના શહેરી વિકાસ મંત્રાલયના જોઈન્ટ સેક્રેટરી શ્રી કુણાલ કુમારજી, ગુજરાત સરકારના મુખ્ય સચિવ શ્રી રાજકુમારજી, ગુજરાત સરકારના શહેરી વિકાસ વિભાગના પ્રિન્સિપલ સેક્રેટરી શ્રી અશ્વિની કુમારજી, G20ના સુશેરપા અભય ઠાકોરજી, ગ્લોબલ કન્વીનર્સના રિપ્રેઝેન્ટેટિવ મિસ્ટર કેવિન, C40 સિટીઝ અને મિસ એમિલિયા UCLG અને અમદાવાદ મ્યુનિસિપલ કોર્પોરેશનના મ્યુનિસિપલ કમિશનર શ્રી થેનરસનજી, વિશ્વભરના જુદા જુદા શહેરોથી પધારેલ મેયરશ્રીઓ, શહેરના પ્રતિનિધિશ્રીઓ, ભારત સરકારના શહેરી વિકાસ મંત્રાલયના અધિકારીશ્રીઓ અને જુદા જુદા સહભાગી મિત્રોનું હું આ મહાત્મા ગાંધીની ધરતી ઉપર સ્વાગત કરું છું. છઠ્ઠી U20 સાયકલના અધ્યક્ષ તરીકેની મારી ભૂમિકામાં હું કૃતજ્ઞતા વ્યક્ત કરું છું અને આપ સૌને સંબોધિત કરતી વખતે ગર્વની લાગણી વ્યક્ત કરું છું. U20એ વિશ્વભરમાં વધતા શહેરીકરણ સાથે ખૂબ જ મહત્વ મેળવ્યું છે, જે શહેરોને તેમના સ્ટેટેબલ અર્બનાઇઝેશન માટે ઉત્પ્રેરક તરીકે સશક્ત બનાવે છે. જ્યારથી G20 સમિટ પેરિસ કરાર સાથે જોડાઈ ત્યારથી ઇકોનોમિક એન્ડ સ્ટેટેબલ ડેવલપમેન્ટ તરફ ધ્યાન કેન્દ્રિત કરી U20 સાયકલ દ્વારા ક્લાઇમેટ ચેન્જ, ડિજિટલ ટ્રાન્સફોર્મેશન, સિટી લેવલ ઇન્વેસ્ટમેન્ટ, હેલ્થ કેર અને એવા ઘણા બધા મુદ્દાઓને સંબોધિત કર્યા છે. વધુમાં આ તમામ મુદ્દાઓને સાંકળી મુખ્ય 6 પ્રાયોરિટી એરિયાસ જેના પર આ U20 સાયકલમાં સમાવેશ કરેલ છે, જેમ કે એન્કરેજિંગ એન્વાયરમેન્ટલી રિસ્પોન્સિબલ બિહેવિયર, ensuring water security, accelerating climate finance, championing local culture and economy, reinvesting framework for urban governance and planning, catalyzing digital urban future. હું દ્રઢપણે માનું છું કે જો આપણા શહેરોની ભાવિ યોજનાઓ આ પ્રાયોરિટી એરિયામાં પરિવર્તનકારી પહેલથી આપણને ઇન્ક્લુઝિવ, સસ્ટેનેબલ અને રેઝિલિયન્ટ અર્બન ઇકોસિસ્ટમ બનાવવા અને શહેરોને ભવિષ્ય માટે તૈયાર કરવા તરફ આપણી પ્રતિબદ્ધતાઓને વધુ મજબૂત બનાવવામાં મદદરૂપ થશે. વધુમાં ખાસ કરીને વિકાસશીલ દેશોના શહેરોમાં ક્લાઇમેટ ફાઇનાન્સની જોગવાઈ એક અત્યંત મહત્વનો મુદ્દો છે અને આના માટે ક્લાઇમેટ ફાઇનાન્સ માર્કેટને સક્ષમ બનાવવા માટે કલેક્ટિવ એફર્ટની જરૂર છે. અમદાવાદ શહેર U20 સાયકલના કલેક્ટિવ બધા જ મુદ્દાઓ પર છેલ્લા દશકમાં અનેક ઇનિશિયેટિવ પગલાં લીધા છે, જે અંતર્ગત અમદાવાદ શહેરને નેટ ઝીરો એન્ડ ગ્રીન સિટી બનાવવાના પ્રયાસો અંતર્ગત ગ્રીન બોન્ડ ઇસ્યુ કરવાનું પ્લાનિંગ છે. આ માધ્યમથી ગ્રીન ફંડ હેઠળ શહેરના સર્ક્યુલર ઇકોનોમિકલ ઇનિશિયેટિવ્સ તથા ક્લાઇમેટ એક્શન પ્લાન હેઠળ આઇડેન્ટિફાઈડ ઇનિશિયેટિવને ઇમ્પ્લિમેન્ટ કરવા ઉપયોગમાં લેવાશે. સોલર અને વિન્ડ મિલ દ્વારા રિન્યુએબલ એનર્જીના ઉત્પાદનમાં વધારો કરવાના પ્રયાસોને વેગ આપવામાં આવશે. એન્વાયરમેન્ટ ઇમ્પ્રુવમેન્ટ ચાર્જિસ લઈ રહ્યા છીએ. શહેરના વિવિધ વિસ્તારોમાં ઈ ચાર્જિંગ સ્ટેશનો ઊભા કરવામાં આવ્યા છે. શહેરના પબ્લિક ટ્રાન્સપોર્ટ AMTS અને અમદાવાદ જનમાર્ગમાં ઈ બસીસનો ઉપયોગ થઈ રહ્યો છે. ચેર સિટી અમદાવાદ અને ભારત દેશ વતી હું છેલ્લા કેટલાક મહિનામાં આપના અમૂલ્ય યોગદાન અને પ્રોએક્ટિવ એન્ગેજમેન્ટ માટે તમામ માનનીય U20 શહેરોના મેયર અને પ્રતિનિધિઓને હૃદયપૂર્વક આભાર વ્યક્ત કરવા માંગુ છું. સાથે મળીને અમે G20માં સમાવિષ્ટ થઈ શકે તેવું એક એક્શન ઓરિએન્ટેડ સસ્ટેનેબલ અર્બનાઇઝેશન એજન્ડા U20 કમ્યુનિટી થકી તૈયાર કરવામાં આવેલ છે. હું નિશ્ચિતપણે માનું છું કે G20 ગ્રુપના નેશનલ લીડર્સ આ કમ્યુનિકેને પ્રાધાન્ય આપશે અને એજન્ડા સંબંધિત જરૂરી કલેક્ટિવ એક્શન લેવા આવનારા વર્ષોમાં પ્રોત્સાહિત થશે. વધુમાં U20 શહેરના મેયર અને પ્રતિનિધિઓને વિનમ્રતાપૂર્વક આગ્રહ કરીશ કે વસુદૈવ કુટુંબકમ અને વન અર્થ, વન ફેમિલી, વન ફ્યુચરના સંકલ્પને સિદ્ધ કરવા U20ની આ સાયકલ બાદ પણ U20 શહેરો વચ્ચે કોલાબોરેશન એન્ડ કોઓપરેશનને વધુ મજબૂત બનાવવાના પ્રયાસોને વેગ આપીશું. આપણા શહેરોના ઉજ્જવળ ભવિષ્યને તૈયાર કરવા માટે અમદાવાદ શહેર U20ના શહેરો પાસે પાર્ટનરશિપ અને કોલાબોરેશનની આતુરતાપૂર્વક અપેક્ષા રાખે છે. હું અમદાવાદ શહેર વતી આપ સૌનું ફરી એકવાર ઉત્સાહપૂર્વક સ્વાગત કરું છું. વધુમાં ભારત દેશની અતિથિ દેવો ભવની લાગણી સાથે હું હૃદયથી ઈચ્છું છું કે આપ સૌ આવનારા 2 દિવસમાં અમદાવાદ શહેરના 600 વર્ષ જૂના ઐતિહાસિક વારસાની ઝાંખી કરાવતા અમદાવાદ હેરિટેજ વોકને માણવાની સાથે સાથે ગુજરાતી વૈવિધ્યસભર પૌષ્ટિક અને સ્વાદિક ખાનપાન તેમજ અમારી મેજબાનીમાંનો વિશેષ આનંદ માણશો. થેન્ક યુ.
ખૂબ ખૂબ આભાર માનનીય મેયરશ્રી આપનો સ્વાગત શબ્દો માટે. Thank you, sir, for your inspiring words. Ladies and gentlemen, I now welcome Shri Manoj Joshi, Secretary, Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, Government of India, to address the gathering on India's imperative of urban development. Shri Manoj Joshi.
Good morning, Honorable Chief Minister of Gujarat, MOS Urban Development of India, Shri Kaushal Kishorji, other dignitaries sitting on the dais and all the representatives of various cities around the world. Urbanization in India is passing through a very, very rapid phase. Currently, we have than 450 million people living in cities, which in next 25 years are expected to go to 800 million people. Around the world in developing countries, urbanization is the biggest phenomena which is happening, and more so in India. Our entire change in prosperity, income generation, job generation is happening in urban areas in India. And what we do in next 10, 20 years in our cities is deciding the fate of our countries. So it's a very apt that we are in U20, we are discussing in India and also in the city of Ahmedabad in Gujarat state, various factors in urbanization. In India, Gujarat is one of the leading states in terms of people living in cities, in terms of managing cities, the amount of work which Honorable Chief Minister and Honorable Prime Minister of India have done in Gujarat in managing urban areas, be it development of public spaces, used water treatment, solid waste treatment, and more so developing street vendor markets where people can go and the places are beautiful, you eat food. That type of development which you see in Gujarat is happening around the country now in India. Let me share a few areas in which last more than 10 years we have done wonderful work. One is the solid waste management. In last 10 years, the treatment of solid waste in India, in cities, the collection, treatment has gone to 75%, and no more garbage is going into dumps. We are targeting to clear all our legacy dump sites by 2026. Second area in which we are doing a lot of work is on the data side, on moving our urban local bodies in data-driven governance. We have a National Urban Digital Mission in which through sensors, through data, through software, urban governance is shifting. Another area which is our favorite area is used water management. Increasingly, we have mandated now that 20% of the used water must be sold and should be used, and more investment is going on the used water management, particularly for a very important for a water scarce country like India. Managing public spaces where people can interact, people can live their life under good places is another focus area for us. Transportation is a very, very important area because in climate change, I think in urban areas, the biggest contributor is transportation, and increasing public transport, particularly on metro rail side. We have done a lot of work. India is now has the fourth largest metro rail network in the world, and I think in few months' time it will be third largest metro rail network. And all the metro rails being made in India and entire technology coming to India. So that's another area we have done tremendous work. Climate change is offering huge challenges to us, to around the world, to in India. Increasing concentrated rainfall, changing pattern of rainfall leading to urban flooding is something people in India are experiencing, and I'm sure around the world cities are experiencing this. And that is a big challenge. We need to work together to find solutions to that, to increase our retention capacity of water bodies, our channels, and redesign the cities so that the urban flooding phenomena we can manage. All of this requires capacities in the cities and finance. We need to work on increasing finance for our cities. Climate finance, we have talked a lot. We have talked a lot about green bonds. I think we need to make it more operational so that cheaper finance is available to cities to work on the climate issues. We look forward to work by mayors in U20 so that cities' capacities and cities' finances improve. We work with each other and make the world a better place, a far sustainable place. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for providing your deep insight on India's thinking and approach towards effective urban management. Thank you. I now invite Shri Abhay Thakur, Su Sherpa G20, to deliver the keynote address on the convergences between the G20 and U20 actionable agenda.
Honorable Chief Minister of Gujarat, Honorable Minister of State for Housing and Urban Affairs, Honorable Mayor of Ahmedabad, respected Chief Secretary of Gujarat, Secretary Mohua, Principal Secretaries in the Government of Gujarat, Mr. Kevin Austin, Deputy Executive Director C40, Ms. Emilia Saiz Carasendo, Secretary General UCLG, distinguished members of the U20 Troika, delegates from G20 members, guest countries and international organizations, representatives of various Indian cities, members of the media, dear friends. It is my singular honor and privilege to address the U20 summit today, alongside the distinguished dignitaries and leaders on the dais. On behalf of the G20 Sherpa and the Ministry of External Affairs, I would like to extend a very warm welcome to the delegates of the Urban 20 Mayoral Summit. I express my hearty congratulations to everyone gathered here today for successfully completing the 6th Urban 20 cycle under India's G20 presidency, as well as for providing important policy recommendations. It is also fitting that the Urban 20 Summit is being held in Gandhinagar, the capital of Gujarat, India, named after Mahatma Gandhi, and built with a harmonious blend of tradition and modernity. In my remarks, I would dwell upon the growing synergy between Urban 20 Engagement Group and the G20 official Sherpa and finance tracks. Building cities of tomorrow, including their design and financing, has emerged as a key priority area for G20 Leaders Summit. Urban areas are experiencing unprecedented growth, placing additional pressure on infrastructure and resources within cities. With land mass remaining the same, more people will be competing for lesser resources in cities that will be near about bursting at their seams, especially in developing countries. This will throw up requirements such as additional affordable housing, sustainable modes of urban transport to carry people daily from economic centers to residential centers, utilities such as power and water, and ancillary urban infrastructure. This cannot be met through government funding alone and requires private investment, including blended finance, to help scale up urban initiatives in proportion to urbanization. A quick look at the statistics. By 2030, 6 in 10 people will live in urban areas. The world cities occupy just 3% of the land, but account for 60 to 80% of energy consumption and 75% of carbon emissions. Globally, it is projected that 80% of cities worldwide lack affordable housing alternatives for the majority of their population, and that approximately 2 billion homes will be required over the next 75 years, implying that 96,000 new affordable homes must be built every day. There are 2.2 billion people without access to clean drinking water, 4.2 billion without access to adequate sanitary facilities, and 3 billion without even the most basic hand washing facilities. 40% of the world's population lacks access to clean cooking fuels, while 13% lack access to electricity. US $6.9 trillion worth of infrastructure investments would be needed annually by 2030 to meet SDGs. Under the G20 finance track, the Indian presidency this year has underlined sustainability and financial viability at the core of its infrastructure working group agenda. The 2023 IWG aims to reaffirm commitments towards modern, resilient and inclusive infrastructure in line with the work under previous presidencies. The flagship priority of our presidency is financing cities of tomorrow, inclusive, resilient and sustainable future as a key deliverable, including G20 principles on building livable, sustainable, resilient cities of tomorrow, a report on financing cities of tomorrow, a report on enablers of inclusive urban service delivery, and a framework on architecture for capacity building of local government bodies. For us, the U20 summit is not just a diplomatic dialogue, but a greater responsibility. The Indian subcontinent has a rich history of urban living, considering some of the earliest cities and norms for urban planning were born here since the Harappan civilizational era. For us, U20 is not only an opportunity to learn from other cities, but also share our experience about the work being done in India across all dimensions of governance, finance, planning, climate response, inclusive growth, and digital innovation. Cities have emerged as the epicenter of innovation, economic growth, and cultural diversities. They are melting pots of ideas and catalysts for progress. The U20 and G20 are growingly better aligned with each other and share priorities such as preserving cultural heritage, fostering a sense of place, promoting lifestyle for environment, mainstreaming a sustainable water management policy, and revitalizing water ecosystems. The U20 has further laid emphasis on accelerating climate ambition into action and localizing global sustainability agendas while reinventing frameworks for urban governance and planning digital futures. In their recent summit declarations, including in Rome and Bali, G20 leaders have consistently emphasized the importance of local capacity and local tradition in addressing global challenges. Strengthening local practices and economies can provide substantial benefits for long-term resilience. Thinking locally can help to leverage traditional place-specific knowledge about sustainable design and conservation practices. While we witness the explosion and expansion of modern cities, the unique cultural heritage of cities must also be preserved. In this context, I am very proud that the Government of India has demonstrated these principles in a number of city projects, be it the Central Vista redevelopment in New Delhi or the Kashi Vishwanath corridor in Varanasi. Friends, this year G20 members are working to reinvigorate, strengthen, reform and reorient multilateralism to address global challenges effectively. A multi-sectoral approach among multilateral organizations linking energy, development and climate action to deliver jobs, growth and sustainability and ensure that policy making remains people-centric is key. In conclusion, on behalf of the G20 Secretariat, I thank all dignitaries, officials and participants who have engaged with G20 and Urban 20 this year. If cities are to lead global development, then all of us share this responsibility and need to make collective efforts. I would also like to sincerely thank the state government of Gujarat for their dynamism and support in making the U20 summit a grand success. Thank you for this opportunity and thank you for listening to me so patiently. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We hope that U20 recommendations will enrich the G20 agenda and stand in this cycle. Thank you. And once again, I would like to mention the channels for the translation. We have channel 1 for English, channel 2 French, channel 3 Russian, channel 4 Arabic, channel 5 Spanish, channel 6 Japanese, and channel 7 Gujarati. So moving forward, now it's time to invite our guest of honor, Shri Kaushal Kishore, Honorable Minister of State of Housing and Urban Affairs, Government of India, renowned for his exceptional leadership and visionary approach in the development of the urban sector. We request you, sir, to address all of us. Shri Kaushal Kishore.
G20 के इस कार्यक्रम में हमारे बीच में गुजरात के लोकप्रिय मुख्यमंत्री आदरणीय माननीय श्री भूपेन्द्र भाई जी पटेल जी, अर्बन डेवलपमेंट एंड हाउसिंग के सेक्रेटरी श्री मनोज जोशी जी, श्री अभय ठाकुर जी, अहमदाबाद के मेयर श्री किरीट कुमार जी परमार जी, मंच पे उपस्थित सभी महान भाव और देश विदेश से अर्बन से आए हुए हमारे सभी मेयर, शिखर सम्मेलन में आए हुए सभी देवियों, सज्जनों, आवासन और शहरी कार्य मंत्रालय भारत सरकार की ओर से और अपनी तरफ से भी, मैं गुजरात की तरफ से भी मैं आप सब लोगों का हार्दिक वंदन करता हूं, अभिनंदन करता हूं। आज मुझे पूरे देश के तमाम शहर, जहां से काफी मेयर आए, 60 से अधिक विदेशी शहर से, 45 से अधिक विदेशी मेयर और 35 अपने देश के मेयर्स और जो भी डेलीगेट्स, प्रतिनिधिगण आए हुए हैं, उनके बीच में अपनी बात रखने का जो अवसर मुझे मिला है, इससे मैं अपने को गौरवान्वित महसूस कर रहा हूं। सबसे पहले मैं भारत के प्रधानमंत्री आदरणीय नरेंद्र मोदी जी का इस G20 के आयोजन जिस तरीके से पूरे देश में कराया है, उसके लिए मैं प्रधानमंत्री जी का अभिनंदन करता हूं, आभार व्यक्त करता हूं। और G20 का जिस तरीके से लोगों के बीच में कैसे हमारा हिंदुस्तान, भारत देश हर क्षेत्र में आगे बढ़ रहा है, उसका जिस तरीके से प्रेजेंटेशन पूरी दुनिया के बीच में करने का काम किया है, पूरी दुनिया के डेलीगेट्स के बीच में, एक बहुत ही सराहनीय कदम है और एक अच्छी तरीके से प्रेजेंटेशन करने का काम किया। इसके लिए मैं प्रधानमंत्री जी का बहुत बहुत आभार व्यक्त करता हूं। सबसे बड़ी बात यह है कि हमारा ये थीम क्या था। G20 का थीम है वसुधैव कुटुंबकम, मतलब एक पृथ्वी, एक परिवार, एक भविष्य। हम जब पूरी पृथ्वी को अपनी मानेंगे, पूरी पृथ्वी के सभी लोगों को अपना परिवार मानेंगे, तो उनका भविष्य हम एक परिवार की तरह निर्धारित करने का काम करेंगे। ये इसकी थीम आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने रखने का काम किया और उसी के तहत आज दुनिया के तमाम देशों के मेयर और डेलीगेट्स यहाँ पर G20 के तहत अर्बन 20 के इस कार्यक्रम में एकत्र होने का काम किए। इसलिए मैं आप सबका पुनः एक बार स्वागत करता हूं, अभिनंदन करता हूं। हमारे शहरों में आप देख रहे होंगे पूरे दुनिया में कोविड की बड़े पैमाने पे एक महामारी आई, लेकिन हमारे शहरों में जो कोविड जैसी महामारी, प्रवासन और जलवायु परिवर्तन जैसे संकटों में जूझने की क्षमता आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में जो उन्होंने हम लोगों को एक सीख दिया, वो दिखाई दी। शहरों में विशेषज्ञता और ज्ञान का उपयोग स्थानीय स्तर के अलावा अंतर्राष्ट्रीय संबंधों तथा राजनीतिक पहलों में भी इसका अच्छी तरीके से प्रयोग किया जा सकता है। शहरी स्तर पर G20 एजेंडा को आगे बढ़ाने के लिए के अलावा U20 अर्बन 20 शहरी स्तर पर कार्रवाई, योग्य उपायों को लागू करने और शहरों के बीच ज्ञान और अनुभवों के बीच का आदान प्रदान करने का ये जो U20 का मंच है, एक सबसे अच्छा मंच प्रदान करने का काम आज अहमदाबाद में किया जा रहा है। भारत 2500 ईसा पूर्व हड़प्पा काल में ही शहरी विकास में सबसे अग्रणी रहा है। पिछले 9 सालों में हमारे शहर अभूतपूर्व परिवर्तन और विकास के साथ पूरे विश्व में प्रेरणा का स्रोत और मॉडल बन गए। पूरे देश में लगभग 4900 शहर गार्बेज फ्री बनाने का एक टारगेट आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने स्वच्छ भारत मिशन के तहत और सुविधाएं उपलब्ध कराने के लिए अमृत 2.0 को लॉन्च करने का काम भी आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने किया। U20 हमारे शहरी विकास के अनुभवों और चुनौतियों के सफल समाधान को प्रदर्शित करने का एक बेहतर अवसर है। अर्बन 20 में होने वाले विचार विमर्श आगे शहरी विकास के एजेंडे की दिशा निर्धारित करने में ये जो कार्यक्रम है, निश्चित तरीके से ये आयोजन एक अहम भूमिका निभाने का काम करेगा। भारत के सतत विकास लक्ष्यों के साथ आगे बढ़ने और पेरिस समझौते के तहत अपनी प्रतिबद्धताओं को पूरा करने में महत्वपूर्ण प्रगति की है। माननीय आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी के दूरदर्शी नेतृत्व में सबका साथ, सबका विकास और सबका विश्वास तथा स्वच्छ भारत, सुविधाजनक भारत, विकसित भारत, आत्मनिर्भर भारत बनाने के लिए सबका प्रयास, ऐसा स्लोगन आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने देने का काम किया है। सरकार ग्रीन और सैन्य विकास को बढ़ावा देने के लिए हमारी नीतियों को तेजी के साथ लागू कर रही है। माननीय प्रधानमंत्री आदरणीय श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी द्वारा 2022 में लाइफ मिशन की शुरुआत इस दिशा में उठाया गया एक मजबूत कदम रहा है, जो अब भारत में एक जन आंदोलन बनता चला जा रहा है। इस मिशन का उद्देश्य सभी स्तरों पर व्यापक व्यवहार परिवर्तन और पर्यावरण के अनुकूल जीवन शैली अपनाने की दिशा में सामूहिक प्रयासों को बढ़ावा देना है। इसके अलावा भारत में नवीनीकरण ऊर्जा, ई मोबिलिटी और ग्रीन हाइड्रोजन जैसे क्षेत्रों में पर्यावरण अनुकूल कई अन्य महत्वपूर्ण पहल करने का काम हमारे देश ने किया है। शहरी परिदृश्य में अगर हम देखें तो हमारे मिशन जल सुरक्षा, सबको आवास, आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने हाउस फॉर ऑल स्कीम लागू की, जिसमें प्रधानमंत्री आवास योजना शहरी और ग्रामीण दोनों लागू करने का काम किया। साफ सफाई, कचरा निस्तारण, नवीनीकरण ऊर्जा और सेवाओं के डिजिटलीकरण आदि की दिशा में काम कर रहे हैं। भारत के मेक इन इंडिया और सामाजिक विकास की मिशन मोड पहलों ने दुनिया को दिखा दिया है कि किस प्रकार बड़े पैमाने पर योजनाओं को लागू किया जा सकता है और आम लोगों को इसमें भागीदारी बनाया जा सकता है। एक नए तरीके का जो प्रयोग आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने हमारे देश में किया है, जो जन सामान्य है, उनकी जरूरत की चीजें क्या हैं, उनको पहले उपलब्ध कराने का काम आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने किया। और इसके अलावा जो है रोजगार के क्षेत्र में भी अगर देखें तो बैंकों से प्रत्येक एक महिला को और एक वंचित तबके के व्यक्ति को बगैर गारंटी का लोन देकर के उन्हें उद्यमी बनाने का एक योजना, स्टैंड अप योजना के तहत भी आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने लागू करने का काम किया। शहरी क्षेत्रों में अगर देखें रोजगार के मामले में तो जो वेंडर जोन है, उस वेंडर जोन में लोगों को रोजगार उपलब्ध कराना, जो गांव से शहर में आते हैं उनको अलग से रोजगार उपलब्ध कराना, बगैर ब्याज का लोन देना 3 किस्तों में, पहले 10,000। और सबसे बड़ी बात यह है कि वो जो वेंडर जोन में बैठे पट्टी दुकानदार हैं वो अपना डिजिटल तरीके से पैसे का ट्रांसफर करते हैं, किस्त अदा करते हैं, डिजिटल पेमेंट करने का काम करते हैं। पटरी पर बैठा हुआ आदमी इस तरीके से जो डिजिटलीकरण करने का काम आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने किया है, ये पूरी दुनिया में अद्वितीय है। एक बहुत अच्छा निर्णय और जो हमारे देश में उसको लागू करने का काम किया और लोग कर रहे हैं इसको। हमारे इस कार्यक्रम से भारत के मेक इन इंडिया और सामाजिक विकास की मिशन मोड जो कार्यक्रम है, इससे दुनिया को एक अच्छी चीजें हमने दिखाने का प्रयास आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने किया है और इससे आम लोगों को इसमें भागीदारी बनाने का भी काम किया है। हमारा लक्ष्य ऐसे समझौते, ऐसे समावेशी शहरों का निर्माण करना है, ऐसे बेहतर शहर बनाना है जो सभी निवासियों के लिए उच्च गुणवत्ता वाला जीवन सुनिश्चित करे, सहभागिता बढ़ाए और कार्बन उत्सर्जन कम से कम करें। इसके लिए आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने एक स्कीम और लागू की कि जो प्रवासी मजदूर आते हैं उनके लिए भी अलग से एक स्कीम लागू की है जिसमें पीपी मोड पर लोग काम करते हैं और जिनको किराए पर मकान हम कम किराए पर उनको उपलब्ध कराने का काम करते हैं। इस योजना को भी आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने लागू किया है इसलिए कि ताकि प्रवासी मजदूर भी जो हमारे हैं वो जहाँ कहीं भी मजदूरी करने जाते हो उनका अपना खुद का आवास हो किराए पर रहने के लिए। हमें ज्ञात है कि अर्बन 20 की इस बार की बैठक में पहली बार सबसे ज्यादा संख्या में तमाम शहरों की, हमारे देश के शहरों की और फॉरेन के तमाम शहर और उनके मेयर्स इसमें भागीदारी निभाने का काम किया है। मैं उनको सबको बहुत बहुत बधाई देता हूं, सबका अभिनंदन करता हूं। मैं आप सभी को ये शुभकामनाएं देते हुए अपनी बात समाप्त करता हूं इस विश्वास के साथ कि अर्बन 20 की बैठक में ये निश्चित तरीके से एक संदेश जहां जहां से भी आए हैं वहां भी और पूरी दुनिया में, पूरे विश्व में वसुधैव कुटुंबकम का संदेश, यानी मतलब हमारी पृथ्वी एक परिवार है और जब एक परिवार है तो पूरा पृथ्वी पे रहने वाले सब लोगों का भविष्य भी एक है। इसलिए एक पृथ्वी, एक परिवार, एक भविष्य, इस टारगेट को लेकर के जो आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने इसकी थीम को तय किया है, इसको हम सब लोग लेकर के संदेश जाएंगे। आप भी अपने अपने देशों में ये संदेश लेकर के जाएंगे। इस पर विचार विमर्श होगा, इस पर आप लोगों की डिबेट होगी, इस पर अपने विचार प्रकट करेंगे। इसके लिए हम अपने सरकार की तरफ से, भारत सरकार की तरफ से, अपने अर्बन डिपार्टमेंट की तरफ से आप सभी लोगों का स्वागत करते हैं, अभिनंदन करते हैं, बधाई देते हैं। और मुझे पूरा विश्वास है कि एक नई थीम जो आई है वो नई थीम दुनिया को एक जगह एकजुट करके एक नए संदेश को देने का काम मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में करेगी। धन्यवाद। थैंक यू।
आपके प्रेरणादायी शब्दों के लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद माननीय मंत्री जी आपका। थैंक यू सर फॉर योर इंस्पायरिंग एंड काइंड वर्ड्स ऑफ अप्रिशिएशन। Climate change is a pressing global challenge, and it is our responsibility to take proactive measures to protect our city and its residents from its impacts. Ladies and gentlemen, this day marks a significant milestone in Ahmedabad's journey towards a sustainable and resilient future. Ahmedabad has taken a bold stance by committing to a net zero emission future. It is with great pride and excitement that we launch the Climate Resilient City Action Plan for Ahmedabad, a comprehensive roadmap that will guide the city to tackle the challenges posed by climate change. This plan is prepared by Ahmedabad Municipal Corporation and ICLE South Asia under the Swiss Agency for Development and Cooperation Funded Capacities Project. Ladies and gentlemen, let's watch a short video about this initiative.
मेरी बातें सिर्फ शब्द नहीं हैं, ये भावी पीढ़ी के उज्जवल भविष्य का जयघोष है।
Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi's Panchamrit. The 5 elixirs are guiding India on its journey to achieve net zero emissions by 2070. Gujarat is ably supporting this vision with its innovative climate actions. The Ahmedabad Municipal Corporation has stepped up by preparing a climate resilient city action plan towards a net zero future. Ahmedabad's vision is to address the climate emergency by leading a bold transition towards a net zero emissions future, fostering resilience in the face of rising urban heat, flooding, and natural resources challenges, while considering the principles of equity and gender justice. The Capacities Project, funded by the Swiss Agency for Development and Cooperation, supported the city in preparing this action plan. Ahmedabad is committed for climate resilient development.
And so, now, to join the launch of the Climate Action Plan, I would like to invite to the stage Dr. Ralph Hackner, the Ambassador, Embassy of Switzerland to India and Bhutan. Welcome you, sir. I invite Mr. Praveen Chaudhary, Deputy Municipal Commissioner, Ahmedabad Municipal Corporation, and Mr. Imani Kumar, Deputy Secretary General, ICLE, and Executive Director, ICLE, South Asia. And now, I would like to request Honorable Chief Minister of Gujarat, Shri Bhupendra Bhai Patel, and dignitaries on the dais to unveil the physical copy of the plan. Let's all have a big round of applause. The launch of Climate Resilient City Action Plan is a testament to our commitment to building a sustainable and climate conscious city. Thank you so much, dignitaries. Climate change documentaries have become a popular tool to reach audiences in efforts to elevate concern and stimulate action on climate change. The summit is also hosting the special screening of movies for the Urban Climate Film Festival, and this is being organized by the National Institute of Urban Affairs under the Cities program. So you can explore the movies in the Seminar Hall 4 over these 2 days. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, under the mentorship and guidance of Honorable Chief Minister of Gujarat, Shri Bhupendra Bhai Patel, the state has been achieving new frontiers in urban thinking, be it smart cities, affordable housing, transportation, infrastructure, or town planning. Under his able leadership, Gujarat has emerged as a role model of sustainable urban development in the country. We are honored to invite Honorable Chief Minister of Gujarat, Shri Bhupendra Bhai Patel, for his address.
राज्य के पाटनगर में आयोजित अर्बन 20 मेयोरियल समिट के उद्घाटन सत्र में हमारे बीच मंचों पर उपस्थित हमारे केंद्रीय शहरी विकास राज्य मंत्री श्री कौशल किशोर जी, अहमदाबाद के मेयर श्री किरीट भाई परमार, केंद्रीय शहरी विकास विभाग के सचिव श्री मनोज जोशी जी, राज्य के मुख्य सचिव श्री राजकुमार जी, शेरपा G20 श्री अभय ठाकुर जी, राज्य के शहरी विकास विभाग के अग्र सचिव श्री अश्विनी कुमार जी, डेप्यूटी एग्जीक्यूटिव डायरेक्टर श्री 40 श्री केविन एस्टून, सेक्रेटरी जनरल UCGL श्री सेमेलिया सेज, म्यूनिसिपल कमिश्नर श्री M थेन्नारसन जी, रूरल डेवलपमेंट विभाग के अग्र सचिव श्री मोना खंदार, स्मार्ट सिटी शहरी विकास विभाग के संयुक्त सचिव श्री कुनाब कुमार जी, उपस्थित सभी मेयर्स, डेप्यूटी मेयर्स, समिट के सभी प्रतिनिधि, उपस्थित अधिकारीगण, प्रेस मीडिया के मित्रों, आप सभी को मेरा नमस्कार। अर्बन 20 की मेयरल मीटिंग में उपस्थित आप सभी को मैं महात्मा गांधी, सरदार पटेल और ग्लोबल लीडर हमारे माननीय प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र भाई मोदी की धरती गुजरात में हार्दिक स्वागत और अभिनंदन करता हूं। हम सभी के लिए यह गर्व की बात है कि ग्लोबल और विजनरी लीडर भारत के माननीय वड़ा प्रधान श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी की लीडरशिप में भारत को G20 प्रेसिडेंसी का सौभाग्य मिला है। G20 इंडिया प्रेसिडेंसी के अंतर्गत गुजरात को 18 इवेंट का अवसर प्राप्त हुआ है। इसके लिए मैं प्रधानमंत्री का आभार व्यक्त करता हूं। 6वें अर्बन 20 साइकिल की अध्यक्षता का आज अहमदाबाद कर रहा है। मुझे खुशी है कि इस इंपॉर्टेंट इवेंट में 35 कंट्रीज और 54 सिटीज के रिप्रेजेंटेटिव मेयर कर रहे हैं। ग्लोबल लेवल पर सभी देशों में रैपिड अर्बनाइजेशन हो रहा है। सिटीज लोगों के लिए न केवल इकोनॉमिक डेवलपमेंट के अवसर पैदा करता है, बल्कि ये अपने अपने देशों के लिए सोशल इकोनॉमी और इकोनॉमिक सेंटर बनने का भी अवसर देते हैं। इसलिए आज के समय के लिए ये बहुत जरूरी है कि बढ़ते अर्बनाइजेशन को इस प्रकार के डिजाइन किया जाए कि उसमें सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट के साथ साथ ट्रैफिक रिलेटेड प्रॉब्लम्स, क्लाइमेट चेंज और पब्लिक सर्विस डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन में होने वाली विभिन्न समस्याओं का भी समाधान हो। हम सभी वसुधैव कुटुंबकम यानी कि एक विश्व, एक परिवार की भावना के साथ सस्टेनेबल अर्बन डेवलपमेंट के कॉमन एजेंडे पर काम करने के लिए एक साथ जुड़े हैं। हमें यह समझना होगा कि हर शहर का विकास हमारे फ्यूचर को शेप देने के लिए इंपॉर्टेंट है। एक ग्लोबल कम्युनिटी के रूप में आने वाले समय में हमारे चैलेंजेस कई प्रकार के कॉमन होने वाले हैं। अर्बन 20 जैसे बड़े इवेंट के माध्यम से वर्ल्ड लीडर्स और मेयर्स को एक मंच पर लाकर सिटीज के मॉडर्न डेवलपमेंट और फ्यूचर के में आने वाले चैलेंजेस के सॉल्यूशन के लिए यह एक अच्छा प्लेटफॉर्म साबित होगा। भारत के सबसे अधिक अर्बनाइजेशन स्टेट में से एक है गुजरात। अर्बनाइजेशन को लेकर हमारे गुजरात का इतिहास भी काफी पुराना है। मैं इस अवसर पर गुजरात के अर्बन डेवलपमेंट की जर्नी को आप सभी के समक्ष प्रस्तुत करना चाहता हूं। गुजरात कई ग्रेट पर्सनालिटीज, वर्ल्ड फेमस एशियाटिक लायन और रिच नेचुरल बायोडाइवर्सिटी की भूमि है। गुजरात के अर्बनाइजेशन की जर्नी 4,500 साल पहले यानी सिंधु घाटी की सभ्यता से शुरू होती है। गुजरात में 70 से अधिक हड़प्पन साइट्स की खोज की गई, जिनमें से एक धौलावीरा है। प्राचीन सभ्यता में धौलावीरा अपने अर्बन प्लानिंग, कंस्ट्रक्शन टेक्नोलॉजी, वाटर मैनेजमेंट, गवर्नेंस और डेवलपमेंट, आर्ट और बिजनेस का एक प्रमुख केंद्र था। हमारे अहमदाबाद भी अपने रिच हेरिटेज, आर्किटेक्चर और रिच कल्चर की वजह से वर्ल्ड हेरिटेज सिटी के रूप में जाना जाता है। आज का अहमदाबाद 15वीं सेंचुरी से सीरीज के लेकर आज के मॉडर्न मेट्रो सिटी में ट्रांसफर होने तक की लॉन्ग जर्नी का डायरेक्ट टेस्ट बनी है। अहमदाबाद ने अपने हेरिटेज कल्चर को बनाए रखते हुए ट्रांजिट ओरिएंटेड डेवलपमेंट के माध्यम से मॉडर्न अर्बन प्लानिंग कॉन्सेप्ट को अपनाया है। गुजरात के शहरी विकास की गाथा प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र भाई के उल्लेख किया बिना अधूरी है। जब श्री नरेंद्र भाई गुजरात के मुख्यमंत्री थे, तब उन्होंने गुजरात के मॉडर्न अर्बन डेवलपमेंट की नींव रखी थी। गुजरात के शहरों में रहने वाले लोगों को सुविधाएं व्यवस्थित तरीके से मिले, सिविक कम्युनिटीज और मॉडर्न टेक्निक का इस्तेमाल हो और भविष्य की जरूरतों को ध्यान में रखते हुए शहर का विकास किया जाए, इन विचारों के साथ श्री नरेंद्र भाई ने लगभग 1.5 दशक तक गुजरात के अर्बन डेवलपमेंट में अपना अमूल्य योगदान दिया। श्री नरेंद्र भाई के प्रयासों के कारण ही गुजरात के शहरों ने पब्लिक इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर और सिविक एम्यूनिटीज के डेवलपमेंट में इनोवेशन, फ्यूचरिस्टिक प्रोजेक्ट और ई गवर्नेंस को बढ़ावा दिया। अहमदाबाद का साबरमती रिवर फ्रंट, मास रैपिड ट्रांसपोर्ट के लिए बीआरटीएस सिस्टम, मेट्रो, वर्ल्ड क्लास रोड नेटवर्क और रीजनल एयर कनेक्टिविटी जैसे कॉन्सेप्ट के माध्यम से प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र भाई ने गुजरात के अर्बन डेवलपमेंट सेक्टर को एक नई दिशा दिखाई। पिछले 9 वर्ष के दौरान माननीय प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी के विजनरी गाइडेंस में गुजरात की सरकार ने विभिन्न फॉरवर्ड लुकिंग इनिशिएटिव शुरू किए हैं। गुजरात इंटरनेशनल फाइनेंस टेक सिटी, जिसे हमें गिफ्ट सिटी की भी कहते हैं, इस हमने एक प्लान बिजनेस सिटी के रूप में विकसित किया है। हाल ही में प्रधानमंत्री जी ने यहां भारत के पहले इंटरनेशनल बुलियन एक्सचेंज की भी शुरुआत की है। प्रधानमंत्री जी की ही एक और ब्रेन चाइल्ड कॉन्सेप्ट धोलेरा सर, जिसे अहमदाबाद के पास ही इंडस्ट्रियल स्मार्ट सिटी के कॉन्सेप्ट के तहत डेवलप किया जा रहा है। यह भी आने वाले समय में पूरे भारत देश के लिए अर्बन डेवलपमेंट में एक मॉडल सिटी के रूप में अपनी पहचान बनाएगा। धोलेरा सर अपने आप में एक ऐसा यूनिक और वर्ल्ड क्लास फैसिलिटीज वाला सिटी बनेगा जहां हर इंडस्ट्रीज के लिए सभी प्रकार की मॉडर्न टेक्निक बेस्ड फैसिलिटीज रहेगी। यह न केवल प्रधानमंत्री जी का ड्रीम प्रोजेक्ट है, बल्कि ये हमारी सरकार के लिए भी अर्बन डेवलपमेंट के सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट प्रोजेक्ट में से एक है। इसी प्रकार गुजरात की सूरत सिटी में हमारे अर्बन डेवलपमेंट के लिए एक बढ़िया मॉडल सिटी है। सूरत ने केवल गुजरात की सबसे बड़ी इकोनॉमी सिटीज में से एक है, बल्कि यहाँ एक से बढ़कर एक इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर प्रोजेक्ट भी मौजूद है। सूरत में डेवलप हो रही ड्रीम सिटी और डायमंड बूस्ट जैसे प्रोजेक्ट इसके ग्रेट एग्जाम्पल है। प्रधानमंत्री जी की डायनेमिक लीडरशिप में गुजरात ने टॉप डाउन अप्रोच और पीपल सेंट्रिक अर्बन डेवलपमेंट को प्रमोट किया है। हेरिटेज, रेन वाटर हार्वेस्टिंग, वेस्ट वाटर रिसाइकलिंग इन हाई राइज बिल्डिंग के लिए डबल प्लम्बिंग सिस्टम, रीयूज ऑफ वेस्ट वाटर, रूफटॉप सोलर सिस्टम का उपयोग पहले से ही गुजरात के डेवलपमेंट कंट्रोल रेगुलेशन में शामिल है। गुजरात में डेवलपमेंट का मास्टर प्लान इंक्लूजन के साथ तैयार किया जाता है और सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट हमारे डेवलपमेंट प्रोजेक्ट के कोर वैल्यू है। क्लीन, ग्रीन और सस्टेनेबल सिटीज के विजन को हासिल करने के लिए गुजरात सरकार द्वारा कई इनिशिएटिव्स लिए गए हैं। ये हमारे माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी के सहयोग और प्रेरणा से ही संभव हो सका है कि आज हमारे सिटीज इतने लिवेबल हो गए हैं कि दूसरे स्टेट में मॉडल सिटी के उदाहरण के रूप में रेप्लिकेट किए जा रहे हैं। यहाँ मौजूद मेयर्स से मैं खास अनुरोध करना चाहूंगा कि आप सभी अपने अपने सिटीज की बेस्ट प्रैक्टिस को हमारे साथ साझा करें, ताकि इसका लाभ एक देश तक सीमित न रहे और G20 की थीम वसुधैव कुटुंबकम यानी वन अर्थ, वन वर्ल्ड, वन फैमिली को भी सार्थक बनाया जा सके। इस शिखर सम्मेलन के उद्देश्य अर्बन एरियाज में क्लाइमेट चेंज के जटिल प्रभाव और उसके संबंधित विभिन्न क्षेत्रों के प्रभावों को लेकर अवेयरनेस क्रिएट करना है। 2 दिनों तक चलने वाले इस कार्यक्रम में कुछ प्रमुख विषयों जैसे एनवायरमेंटली रिस्पॉन्सिबल बिहेवियर और वाटर सिक्योरिटी को एंश्योर करना, अर्बन एरियाज में डिजिटलाइजेशन के फ्यूचर को प्रमोट करना, महिलाओं, युवाओं और बच्चों को अर्बन डेवलपमेंट की मेन स्ट्रीम में शामिल करना और क्लाइमेट के प्रति रिस्पॉन्सिबल और रिजिलिटिव सिटीजन का डेवलपमेंट, इन विषयों पर चर्चा होनी है। मुझे विश्वास है कि इस सम्मेलन के दौरान होने वाले विचार विमर्श से विश्व के शहरों में सस्टेनेबिलिटी प्रोसेस में सस्टेनेबल आगे आएगी और अर्बन 20 के दौरान बढ़ाए गए कॉपरेशन और पार्टनरशिप के यूनिक अर्बन चैलेंज को मैनेज करने और अर्बनाइजेशन के टारगेट्स को अचीव करने में मदद मिलेगी। मैं G20 ग्रुप और मिनिस्ट्रियल हाउसिंग और अर्बन अफेयर्स का उनके सहयोग के लिए आभार व्यक्त करते हुए अपनी वाणी को विराम देता हूं। भारत माता की जय, वंदे मातरम, जय जय गरवी गुजरात। धन्यवाद।
आपके मार्गदर्शन के लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी आपका। थैंक यू सर फॉर योर गाइडेंस एंड इंस्पिरेशन। Two international organizations, C40 and United Cities and Local Governments, UCLG, who are the permanent conveners of the U20, provide knowledge, support and advocacy for creating a wider awareness around critical issues like climate change across the world. I invite Ms. Emilia Saiz Cararancido, Secretary General, United Cities and Local Government, UCLG, for her remarks on the 6th cycle of Urban 20 Ahmedabad.
Good morning. Honorable Minister, Honorable State Secretary, dear Chief Minister of Gujarat, dear Mayor, dear friends, what a great honor and pleasure it is for me to stand before you with this unparalleled welcome and capacity to host us, with this unprecedented gathering, a large community that Urban 20 is becoming. I would like to thank the hosts for their open approach and flexibility, for making sure that this community keeps growing, and for enabling us to find together at this very critical time in the history of our humanity, to find our true humanity and to find renewed paths for the future. I cannot think of a better place to do that than in this land, in the land of India, in the land of Gujarat, where it is clear that the combination of tradition but also the capacity to innovate is a very, very known path and an excellent vision for us to take together. This community of Urban 20 is bringing hope to the discussions of G20, I would say. Is bringing concrete calls to the national governments on things that we would need to happen in cities, because as it has been said this morning, and important things have been said, whatever we do or we don't do, I would add, in our cities is going to shape the future. And if we think like that, and indeed I think we should think this way, then we will need to search for a new understanding of development. We will need to talk about finance, indeed, that is true, not only how we finance, but also what we finance. We will need to discuss access from local and regional government to the finance, but also rethink how we approach our common goods. And there is a very important role for water and other common goods in the communique of this year, in the discussions that we have been having. It will be really important for us to realize that if we want to commit to true equity and opportunities for all, to foster a new narrative and a new vision for the future, we will need to forge new development paradigms that protect the local and global commons, measuring progress through the lives of the poor, the excluded, the most vulnerable populations, and not through those of the rich and the privileged. It also means changing our systems from degenerative to regenerative, and from divisive to disruptive by design. To take a stock in this world that has become predominantly urban, there is indeed a very important role to be played by cities, the cities that are gathered here, but also smaller cities all around the world. And what Urban 20 is doing, and as the conveners, C40 and UCLG, is committing to making sure that the discussions at G20, at Urban 20, also permeate in the discussions of the broader constituency. We are inviting our members, our partners, our whole constituency to assume responsibility in contributing to these challenges. There is a very narrow window of opportunity that we need to take. We need to accept that local and regional governments have a critical role to play, a role to play in regulating and supporting the daily lives of the citizens, both public and private, through proximity, with offers of direct and daily contact with the lives and the concerns of the citizens. It is by co-creating and implementing bold transformative actions like the ones that are being proposed in the communiqué that we will be able to achieve the global goals that unite us. And indeed, also this year, the framework of Agenda 2030 has been acknowledged by all of the cities as the right agenda to follow. We recognize that no actor and no sphere of government can do this alone. We will need to work indeed together, and we hope that our suggestions will inform the meetings of the G20, but we will also address the need to have a more concrete, bigger seat at the table, because indeed what Urban 20 is set to do is not only exchange experiences, but actually define a joint strategy together. Indeed, one world, one family, one future is our motto, and we will need to make that come true and ensure that our discussions lead to concrete actions. Allow me to thank the National Institute for Urban Affairs and the All Indian Institute of Local Self-Government, but also our sister organizations, sister networks such as ICLEI, Metropolis, and others for following this discussion. And above all, also thank the co-conveners in C40 for the commitment to make this process, this discussion, a success. Urban 20 is not only a summit, it is a process that needs to lead us to transformation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Amelia, for your remarks and valuable inputs. I now invite Mr. Kevin Austin, Deputy Executive Director, C40 Cities, to the dais to share his remarks on this year's U20 proceedings. Mr. Kevin Austin.
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, it's an honour to join you here at the 6th U20 Mayors Summit in Ahmedabad. On behalf of C40 Cities, I would like to extend my thanks to Ahmedabad as this year's chair, as well as to the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs for their warm welcome to us all here today. And I'm very pleased to be back in Ahmedabad, having last been here 25 years ago to work on a transport project. And I can see that since then, the city has undergone a radical transformation with fantastic public transport, such as the metro and bus rapid transit system, and the rejuvenated public space along the banks of the Saraswati River. And this shows what can be done with the vision of leaders, the hard work of city officials, and the support of the people. Indeed, across India, cities are transforming, becoming more resilient and more sustainable. From the new 1.5 degree compatible climate action plans launched by Mumbai and Chennai, to the action for clean air being taken by Bengaluru and Kolkata. And cities have long been at the forefront of climate action. It was a decade ago that Ahmedabad became the first city to have and implement a heat action plan, reducing the number of heat-related deaths by more than 1,000 a year. And this is critical because globally by 2050, the number of cities exposed to extreme temperatures will nearly triple, with almost 1,000 cities experiencing average summertime temperatures of greater than 35 degrees. And as the world struggles to deliver on its pledge to keep the temperature rise to 1.5 degrees, we know the climate crisis can't be solved without cities. Cities are a place of opportunity. They are drivers of economic growth and job creation. They account for more than 80% of global GDP and more than half of the world's population. And our city leaders are on the front line of the climate action, engaging with local communities and protecting people from the worsening impacts of the climate change. And it's great, therefore, to see so many global mayors and city leaders here today. We need to draw on all of your valuable experience so we can help each other to deliver climate action in our cities, but also so that we can use our united voice in calling on the G20 to support our priorities so that climate action can be accelerated. And it's no coincidence that accelerating climate finance and multilateral development bank reform are the key requirements needed to deliver these priorities. And the world is still a long way from securing the level of climate finance required to mitigate the impacts of climate change and to deliver a resilient future for us all. Between 2 and 5 trillion US dollars are needed each year to do this, but only 384 billion US dollars are currently being invested. And from rolling out electric buses across India to capturing the entirety of methane emissions from waste in African cities, there are financeable actions ready to be implemented that can slash emissions and keep 1.5 degrees alive if finance can be unlocked. Establishing dedicated climate finance programs while disincentivizing fossil fuel investments, as called for by the U20 communique, are a key way to unlock these opportunities. And no finance priority is higher than supporting cities with adaptation finance. Every city in the world needs to be able to put in place heat action plans like the one in Ahmedabad. And it's really important to remember that climate and finance targets, they're not just numbers. They are the means by which we are able to save people's lives. So in conclusion, the efforts of U20 cities, U20 observers, and the many partners that are supporting and contributing to this unique and powerful forum couldn't be more important. Working with mayors and investing in cities is the best way for the G20 leaders to accelerate action, help the world phase out fossil fuels, and avoid a catastrophic climate breakdown. So I look forward to our discussions over the next 2 days and to communicating the important messages of this summit to the G20. I would like to take this opportunity once more to thank our excellent chair for their hospitality and also for making this cycle so ambitious and fruitful. On behalf of C40 and UCLG as co-coordinators, I'm delighted to welcome you all to the U20 Mayors Summit. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kevin. And thank you, conveners, for your constant support in the successful conclusion of this year's Urban 20 deliberations. And ladies and gentlemen, in every ending, there is a new beginning. Heading to the conclusion of the inaugural ceremony, I invite Mr. M. Thanarsan, Municipal Commissioner, Ahmedabad Municipal Corporation, to deliver vote of thanks.
Good morning. Honorable Chief Minister, Government of Gujarat, Shri Bhupendra Patel, Honorable Union Minister of State, Housing and Urban Affairs, Shri Kaushal Kishore, Honorable Mayor, Chair City, Ahmedabad, Shri Great Kumar J. Parmar, respected Chief Secretary, Shri Rajkumar, respected Secretary, Government of India, Shri Manoj Joshi, Principal Secretary, Rural Development, Principal Secretary, Urban Development, U20 city mayors, Sherpas, city delegates, and U20 partners, and my fellow colleagues from Ministry, Government of Gujarat, National Institute of Urban Affairs, and AMC. With a great pleasure, I extend my warm welcome to all the esteemed dignitaries and all delegates to the U20 Mayoral Summit as part of the 6th Urban U20 cycle. I am privileged to serve as the Commissioner of the Chair City of the 6th U20 cycle. While we are nearing the conclusion of this cycle, we want to make all our efforts to make our final moments are quite exceptionally memorable and enriching for all the participants. To ensure this, with the support of NUA, Ministry, and global conveners, C40 and UCLG, we have meticulously planned your thematic sessions and spotlight sessions on focused priority areas of this cycle. These sessions will provide ample opportunities to share our experiences and good practices. Our collective goal is to seize these opportunities and explore innovative pathways that will enhance the resilience of our cities through an inclusive and sustainable manner. Through these sessions, we aspire to create a platform where cities learn from one another and collaborate with others. In order to create a sustainable and resilient environments, there are 6 themes on the communique which already Honorable Chief Ministers and other dignitaries shared with you. And we have created 2 exhibitions and experience centers here. I would honestly request all the participants and delegates and mayors from all over the world to experience exhibition, urban U20 exhibition in the nearby hall, and also experience Gujarat in Danti Kutir. With this, I want to bring to say a vote of thanks. On behalf of the City of Ahmedabad, I take this opportunity to express my heartfelt gratitude to the Honorable Chief Minister, Shri Bhupendra Bhai Patel, for wholeheartedly supporting the Chair City in making this Urban 20 cycle a meaningful and memorable experience for all the participants and delegates. I am immensely grateful to Honorable Union Minister Shri Kaushal Kishore for not only sharing his valuable insights, but also for enlightening the delegates with India's urban development experiences and various national urban missions under the leadership of Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Bhai Modi. I would like to extend our sincere appreciation to Shri Manoj Joshi, Secretary of Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, for his esteemed presence and insight into various issues of urban and the solution for that. And express our deepest gratitude to our Honorable Mayor. Under his leadership, today we released the Climate Resilient City Action Plan. Would like to thank Mr. Abhay Thakur, Ms. Mona Kandar, and Shri Ashwini Kumar for their guidance and support and their esteemed presence. Lastly, I am sincerely grateful to our esteemed colleagues from MAUA, NUA, C40, ECLG for their unwavering support in hosting the 6th Urban 20 cycle. Special thanks to Ms. Emilia Says and Mr. Kevin Austin for their valuable insights. I extend heartfelt appreciation to each and every one of you for joining us today. Making this day even more remarkable, this event serves as a platform for city representatives to collectively shape the transformative action agenda for sustainable development and climate targets, aligning with the vision of Vasudeva Kutumbakam, one earth, one family, and one future. I am confident that these two-day summits will serve as a platform for meaningful dialogues and exchange of ideas and finalization of action-oriented U20 communique. Thank you very much once again.
Thank you, sir. And with this, we come to the end of this inaugural ceremony. Let's all have a big round of applause for all our dignitaries once again. I would like to thank all the dignitaries on the dais, Honorable Chief Minister, sir, mayors and delegates from different cities, partner institutions. I thank you all for joining us today. We hope this event will provide an opportunity